So, while this 13.5 Craftsman riding mower runs great, after I got it for free, I noticed that when I try to shut it off, it doesn't shut off. So I have to put it on choke just to shut it off, you know? So I'm thinking that the magneto wire is something wrong with it. So to get access to the magneto wire, I gotta trace it to the ignition switch. And the ignition switch is right there. To get to the back of the ignition switch, I want to try to find the tab that says M on it for magneto, and then run a wire directly to the battery kill wire, you know? So to do that, I had to remove the steering wheel. And it's a good thing I did, too, because the nut was just loose on there. It wasn't even really on there, you know? As a matter of fact, this doesn't even look like the nut that goes on there. I guess it is. I guess it doesn't have to hold that much pressure on it. And it's just Phillips screws that hold, 4 Phillips screws that hold this thing on there. How am I supposed to take this off this thing here like that?
Hello.
That rubber thing that came off that had to come off. This thing barely comes off, man. It's like mega stretched. But I'm just gonna reach my hand in here and push the pins. You know what? I can disconnect the harness. There we go. So I just disconnect the harness, alright? So this thing comes off. So I can now pinch this. Pinch that. And then now the ignition switch comes off. Okay? So I'm going to look at the ignition switch, and on it is LG. Let me try to let you guys see this. It's tough. There you go. S for solenoid. M, magneto. Okay, that's the one I'm looking for. This tab right here. B is for battery. G is for ground. L is for lights. It's really pretty simple. So the one on the very bottom is the magneto. Technically, when you shut this off, it grounds this tab. This tab leads directly to the battery. And I think the reason why it doesn't work is because that magneto wire goes somewhere else, right? And goes through some kind of a safety switch or something like that. And that's been bypassed or something, because I don't have to sit on it for it to run, you know? So that's what it is. So if I look at this thing here, the pattern, right? This one that sticks out, an oddball right here, this is the magneto. And it has 2 yellow wires. 2 yellow wires. This one goes out. And I can see that there's 2 yellow wires here. And there's 1 yellow wire that comes out of there. I tried that though. When I connected it, it wouldn't start. I'm gonna have to take the engine cowling off so I can test it. It's the only way. So I listed this for $450. I know it's a little high for a riding mower, but then some guy just came and bought it. Gave me $475. The reason why he's giving me $475 is because I'm delivering it 10 blocks away. And now it's starting to rain, so I gotta get this into the garage. Steering wheel slime. You know, I could just do this. Move this mamma jamma into the garage. So I don't know where this black wire goes, but wherever it goes, it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? When I just connect this black wire onto the magneto, it won't start. So I'm going to take a line, a tab right to the ignition switch that says M, connected directly onto the magneto. That's a true test on how to get it to work. So I've got a test wire, right? This red one right here, straight to the magneto, tapped right into the two yellow wires. I cut the yellow wires here because I don't know where these two yellow wires go to. Maybe some kind of a safety switch that doesn't allow it to whatever, you know, whatever it is. But here, this is going straight to the magneto tab. So I'm going to see if it starts and then shuts off. In this case, they need to start. Alright, so it should start and then shut off. There we go. Bypassed these two wires, went straight there. And it stops. Perfect. So now I'm going to just extend that red wire longer and lead it through there, and we'll be good to go. Put everything back, and this thing's good to deliver. So I've got that wire now all buttoned up. Steering wheel off. Set this back on here somewhat. Put the ignition module back in here. Connect the harness back onto it without looking. It could only go in one way. Man, I can't even feel it. Just want to make sure. Okay, that's on top. That's on top. I got it. All right. Okay, let's test it. I'm going to start it and then shut it off again. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now the trick is getting that little stick, the emergency brake lever here, to go in here, because it was a trick just to get it out. There we go. It's right here. Came back out again. Sucked. Now I feel much better. So obviously one of the safety switches is busted or something like that, and that was connected to the magneto. So no matter what happened, if you connected that magneto wire, it was shut off, you know. I'm thinking it's the seat. So we just basically bypassed the seat safety switch. I'm putting this straight, the wheel straight, so I can align it. As long as we got the steering wheel off, it looks pretty straight. And it's supposed to go like that. Perfect. And we'll put this thing back on. Tighten the steering wheel. And then we'll put that cover back. Some of these Briggs covers can be tricky to put on because it has to be wedged just perfectly on the sides of the metal plates that they have that isolate the fins, right? So it has to clip in just right. And if you could see the holes, it's probably just right. These back ones are pain. Just gotta feel for them, because you definitely can't stick your head back there. I can't see. Move it around so you can feel that you're getting it in the hole. You gotta do that anyway, right? You gotta move around and feel like if you get it in the hole or not. It's a little tiny one that holds the dipstick to the engine cover. Dipstick. Cletus, you dipstick! I have to reference the dipstick thing because I grew up mostly watching stuff in the 80s. Dukes of Hazzard was a very popular show. And actually, you know, that's where Daisy Dukes came from. We still talk about Daisy Dukes today, right? It's a good show because it had to do with that Dodge Charger. Of course, it had that Confederate flag on the roof, which, as you guys know today, is supposedly, if you had the Confederate flag, you're supposedly a racist against African Americans. I mean, in some cases it is. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes out there are, fly that flag all the time. They don't like black people. Well, I don't like people who don't like black people. That's just me. Anyway, so yeah, Dukes of Hazzard, Cletus, Roscoe B. Coltrane. So when I talk about dipsticks, I gotta say, Cletus, you dipstick. That's where that comes from. Some of you youngins have no idea what I'm talking about. I know it. No idea. It's tough to get old, guys. But you've seen a lot in your life, you know. Damn, this screw is like... Is it even tightening? Sons of bitches. I feel like I've been doing this for like 100 years. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. This thing is ready for delivery. You know what? Got the steering wheel on. Got this thing on. Rewired everything straight to the Magneto. Start it again. Perfect. That's it. I feel much better delivering this thing to that guy tomorrow because everything works well. It runs, it starts, it drives, it mows. It's in actually pretty good condition, you know. And now it shuts off when you want it to. I even realigned the steering wheel. So while I listed this for $450, Dude's giving me $475. I am completely thrilled. Actually, he gave me the money already. He's one of those dudes who, you know, just help me out, deliver it. I'll pay you now. As you guys know, I got this for free just 3 or 4 days ago. Fixed it. I mean, it was a pain in the ass to fix. Don't get me wrong. It did take all day for me. You know, we had to do a lot of stuff to this. But fixed it, listed it. A lot of people wanted to ask about this. A couple of dudes came to see it. Some tire kickers wasted my time. Lowballed me to 300 or something. Technically, I should have just sold it for 300 because I got to get rid of my stuff. You know what I mean? But I knew that there was so much interest in it that some nut was going to give me $450 for it. So I'm getting $475 and just delivering it at less than a couple of miles away from here. So that's no problem. This is easy to get in and out of my truck, van. Anyway, so that's a typical afternoon here for Henry at Mowers and Blowers. See you guys next time. So I'm on a walk with Boba. We're walking in a different area because my neighbor told me, hey, go walk on this street. You'll see something. X mark. I've never had one of these things before. Has a Honda GV400 engine on it. If it rolls, I'm going to roll this home. If it rolls. I already have that tractor I have to deliver later in the van, so I'm about 5 blocks away. We'll see. So what I did was took the belt off the tensioner because I was running into some resistance when pushing. Now it's nice and now it free rolls. So you know what? I'm just gonna roll this all the way home. Right, Boba? Never worked on one of these before. What do they call these? Lawnmowers, right? So I just walked home with this thing with my dog, and I was pulling this thing, and it seemed it has good compression. But then as I was pulling, the rope on the outside sheathing came off, and it's stuck back in there. But I'm not really too sure how these things work, but you can hear it. It's good compression. But I can't figure out, you know, the controls. I don't know where choke is. I don't know where prime is. Like I said, I've never worked on any of these things before. I don't even know what you call them. All I think of is skag, you know, but I know these are commercial lawnmowers, right? Tires hold air, so at the very, very least, got a couple of front tractor tires there, some caster wheels in the front, right? And the rest could be scrap or parts or whatever, but I think the engine might be good enough to fix, I think, you know? So, it's starting to rain now. It's late in the afternoon. I'm just going to park this in the garage, and this will probably be my next project. It's very interesting because I've never had one of these things. I've had some opportunities for it, but didn't know much enough about it to want to get involved with it. But this seems kind of interesting, you know. X-Mark, that's a good brand, right? This is obviously very old. Honda GV400. That 11 horsepower. Engine seems like it's okay. I don't see oil anywhere. I mean, it's old and the body's rusty. But when I pull on the cord, it seems like it's good compression. Very good compression. That'll be my next project. It's a beast.